Nice to see you.
Yeah, you as well. Thanks again for having me on. I'm doing well. Doing well. Busy day.
Friday.
Busy for a Friday. Yeah, Friday.
It's Friday. Well, I'm so glad that we finally got to do this. I emailed you, and sometimes it just takes a while for people to. Instagram is hard, and I'm just glad that we finally got it together because I absolutely am a huge fan. So
thank you.
It's great.
Thank you. No, I appreciate the invitation. It's always fun to do. Something like this. It's a little different than like the normal routine that I have, where it's just like wake up, record, hang out with the kids and the wife, record a little bit more. That's usually the way it goes.
Yeah. Do something a little different.
Yeah, for sure.
I get it. Yeah, this is what I do that's different from my job, which I do, every day. That is no fun.
Oh, really?
So this is my have fun thing to do. So
your disconnect. There you go.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Well, Liam, it's so nice to have you. Thank you so much for hanging out and coming and chatting with me. I am, like I said, super excited to talk to you. You have so many books. Like, it's crazy how many books you've done. Yeah. It's like over 300, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm in like the 320s now, something like that. So, yeah, I would imagine by the end of this year, I should be at 350. So,
That's crazy.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's it's awesome to be able to like have that type of consistency with your work, especially when you're. I guess you could say an independent contractor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like you
working
don't know
for yourself.
Yeah, you never quite know when the next job's going to come. So it's always I guess a little worrisome. I think in the early years, like when I first started, I was still working a full-time job. So just sort of like any book that I got, I was excited about because I was like, oh, I get to keep doing this. And then when it became difficult to hold down both of them, because you'd have somebody asking to do like a 12-hour book. And like for me to try to find the time to do that was going to take like a month. Right. So, I was like artificially booking out far. And so once I left my full-time job and decided to do this full-time in 2023, then it became like, oh, these books that would have taken, a month is now only going to take like less than 2 weeks. How do I fill up the rest of that time? So, it was nice. It was nice that I was able to book up relatively quickly. And then last year was my busiest year until this year. This year has been absolutely insane. So, knock on wood. I'll say fortunate.
I love that people are starting to see your name on things and be like, yes, that's something I want to read. Because, that's when it's like really kind of clicking with people is when they're like, oh, this person's on there. And you are that way for me. If I see your name on a book, I'm like,
Thank you.
We're gonna listen to that.
Yeah, so, Jay just put that in the chat. That she sees the name on the book, it's going to be good. Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I
appreciate that.
I agree, Thank Jay. You. Absolutely.
It's a nice kind of pressure, because like when you, like obviously the authors are different from like book to book. My co-narrators will change from one book to the next. So it's a nice pressure to be like, oh, Liam's on it. It's going to be good. So it's like, well, my performance better freaking bang.
Like, okay, no pressure.
Yeah, no. It's like I said, it's a good pressure. I'd rather have that than, if somebody saw my name and said, oh, well, I'm not going to give that book a chance because I don't like him as a narrator.
That would be bad, yeah.
It would be, and then I feel bad for the co-narrator. I feel bad for the author because I was like, oh man, like that sucks that you lost that. Yeah. So I just hope that the people that enjoy it because I'm on it far outweigh the people that don't. So
I think that's safe to say. I think that's probably safe to say. With 300 and something books under your belt, I think people are enjoying you.
I hope so.
Yeah. So what's your narrator origin story? Tell me about how you got into it. What made you want to do it?
Sure. So I started voice acting probably back in like 2013.
Oh, wow.
And there was like random websites that you could go on and you could basically submit for, like, it's basically submit auditions. And it was all small stuff. It was like apps and video games and like commercials and whatnot. So it was weird. I got to do like a Irish accent for like a I guess it would be like a lotto game, like a slot machine style game. And it was like some sort of like lucky slots. And I'm sitting there and be like, with a bad, it's because they wanted it animated and like more over the top. So it was like, brilliant spin, nicely done. Like these, like these are the lines that every time somebody does it, like this is the voice that comes out. And I got to do some like random like food truck commercial in San Diego. Like it was that, like it's just very random, very one-off things, not anything that was paying really well, but just like allowed me to kind of hone my craft a little bit. And then I was working a different job full time. I really just didn't have the time to sort of do that on top of it. Yeah. And then 2019 rolled around, and Tim Page, who's been my best friend for over 20 years.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Him and I were actually we're still in a band together. We still write music, but him and I met in 2003. By 2005, we were roommates, and then we started writing music together and did a band from 2006 until 2019 was the last release that band did. So 13 years together in the band. But we were like roommates for a majority of the time that we were in the band together. After I moved to California, like we stayed, he was like the one person I stayed in constant contact with. We text or send voice notes every day. Like there's not a day that goes by I don't talk to Tim. So he was also a voice actor, but like way more accomplished than I was. Like he was doing like the UFC and Mitsubishi, movie theater promos. Like he was doing a ton of really, he was on Jimmy Kimmel. Like he was a voice on Jimmy Kimmel.
Wow.
Multiple times. So like
I've heard him as a narrator. He's great, but I didn't know he did all that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so he did that for a bit, got into narrating probably about a year before I did. So probably like 2018. I think he got into narrating and was like, oh, this is awesome. So he knows I love to read. He knows I never shut up. So he was like, hey man, you should try to give this a go. So my daughter was born in October of 2019. So I had 6 weeks of FMLA where I was just home. So he had sent me like an audiobook course, like a training course basically to do. It's like a 6-week thing through Pat Fraley. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll do this. And it had like Pat Fraley and Scott Brick, like very well-known, audiobook narrators as well as voice actors. Like I want to say Pat Fraley did like Huckleberry Finn, he did a book for it. So crazy stuff.
That's crazy.
Or Tom Sawyer. Maybe it was Tom Sawyer that he did. But either way. So I did the course, and then coming out of that, we hit COVID. So I had like, I guess my workload was like alleviated a little bit for work. Yeah. So I had started auditioning, and it was actually fun. It was Tim had gotten a book offer by KM Newhold, and it was 2 different POVs, and he didn't really have the time in his schedule to do both. So he was like, hey, my friend just got into narrating. Would you be willing to listen to his audition and see if he will take one of the characters? Aww. And KM thankfully was like, yeah, sure, let's give him a go. So I actually originally read for Cole, and Tim was going to do Ren, and then when she heard the audition, she goes, oh no, he's perfect for Ren. So we switched. Yeah, so I was Ren and he was Cole. And that book was cocky, and that one it took off. Like it was a really well-received book. People were like, who the heck is this guy? Yeah. So I owe all of my career to Tim Page. Like if he hadn't had recommended that I try, and then if KM hadn't taken a swing on me, like I don't think any of this would have happened. So I got really, really lucky early on. And it was like, I think it was like me, Desiree Ketchum, and then maybe, was it Sebastian York? It was somebody else. There was like 3 of us that all came on about the same time. And it all just sort of hit for us. So we were really, really lucky to be able to do that. And here I am 6 years later, and I'm still doing it. So
I know. It's crazy. No. And you kind of beat the COVID rush a little bit.
Yes. Well, and I think people probably were more into audiobooks because there was so much more solitary time that you were like, I need something to keep myself engaged. So I think there were a lot more people looking at audiobooks, looking at newer narrators, and like I said, just lightning in a bottle, like it all just hit at the same time. So I got real lucky.
I think being able to have something out when COVID hit made a big difference because, then you're not trying to start while that's going on, because there's so many people I know kind of started in that era, and so you were kind of ahead of it a little bit. You were already putting stuff out, so that's good.
Yeah, no, I remember seeing stuff. Like, I'm not big on social media, as you know, from our initial messages. It sucks. Like, I know I should be. I'm just
no. There is no should about it. You do what's best for you, and some people have to be, and you don't have to be. So
it's tough though, because I got where, like, I don't know, it was weird. It was like that time when the band was kind of on the come up in like 2006, 2007. That's like when Twitter had come out. MySpace was sort of like in its last couple of years.
Huge for music.
And I loved MySpace with a passion. Like, MySpace for me, it had everything. It clicked it checked every box for me. When my wife and I met, it was because I was on tour with the band, and we were walking around local malls as we were touring out to the West Coast to meet up with Warped Tour to then be on Warped Tour. So we were filling gaps in the schedule with Hot Topic was doing this thing where they would do acoustic performances. So a band could just sign up to do an acoustic performance. So you notify the store ahead of time. They go, yeah, this is the time you come in. So we were passing through Fresno to get to, I want to say it was the Bay Area, to meet up with Warp. And
that's so cool.
I met my wife at the Hot Topic in Fresno. And it was actually MySpace that, like, I gave her the pitch to come to the show that night, and she didn't come because it was her sister's birthday. So she didn't come to the show, but then she messaged me on MySpace and said, hey, so sorry I couldn't make it, but I listened to I ended up going and checking out your band. You guys are great. Let me know the next time you're in town. And I was like, yeah, no worries. Like, I appreciate you messaging me. That would be great. And I thought, done. Like, that's it. And then she messaged back and she was like, so how long have you been doing the band? And I was like, oh, she wants to talk. And I got super excited.
Yay!
So yeah. So we corresponded on MySpace for a couple months until I got the bravery to ask for her phone number. And then we did phone numbers. And then every time the band would tour back out towards the West Coast, she would try to meet up with us. And then, eventually I moved out here, and the rest is history. Two kids and a house later. Here we are.
I love that. Yeah, MySpace was, Lexi, you're right. MySpace was peak social media. Absolutely. I wish I could get back so much of the stuff that I put on MySpace. I wish I had my pictures back.
Pictures, your top 8, putting a song on the profile, all that stuff was
MySpace.
It was
great.
So cool.
You put a song on your profile every day.
Yeah, and it was so easy to disconnect as well.
Yes.
Like, if you were like you didn't have to sit there doom scrolling. You were you went on, you maybe posted things, maybe checked out your friends' pages.
Out.
Yeah, and then dipped, and that was the era where it was MySpace was huge. There was a music website called purevolume.com that bands could just post music, and a lot of the times before a band's record would come out, they would put the single on Pure Volume, and you would go and listen to the Pure Volume. I remember Anne Boleyn did that. Paramore used to do that. So we had done an appearance on MTV's TRL. And after that, we actually topped a bunch of the charts on Pure Volume. And it was it was a huge deal for us, because it was the same day that Paramore had put out another song. It wasn't the single, but it was another song on their record, and we actually topped a chart over Paramore, in the pop emo whatever.
Haley Williams, come on.
Yeah. It was probably a blip on the radar for them, but it was a big deal for us.
That's a big blip.
Yeah, it was cool.
She's a badass.
Oh, she rules.
She's amazing.
I met her briefly at Warped Tour. And she is I'm only 5'10", I don't cut a striking figure at all. She looked absolutely tiny compared. As I walked past,
she is tiny.
She's a tiny person. So, her bodyguard was 3 times my size, so it was 10 times her size. But it was very cool. It was very cool. Just quick. They played right after we did on a completely different stage. We were on an Ernie Ball stage, and they were on the main stage. But I remember just being hey, your set was fantastic. And she was oh, thank you so much. And obviously I was back, in the van areas and whatnot. So and she was just you guys played? And I was yeah, right before you guys, it was a good time. And she was like, okay. And I just kept walking. I was just like,
So
goodbye.
cool.
Like,
Still.
I don't try to have like lengthy conversations whenever I've met somebody that is like high status, just because I'm like, I don't want to take up their time. And
Right.
I know it's like partially like you want to talk to fans and like fellow artists and musicians and whatnot. But I don't know. I have really bad imposter syndrome. So I never put myself like, you know what I mean? You're just waiting for somebody to figure out that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing.
Amen, brother. That's how I feel every time somebody messages me back. I'm like, really? Okay, cool.
You're like, I'll take it. But oh my God. My God. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so Gabs wanted to know, where would one find your band's music? Asking for a friend.
Sure.
We're the friends.
So Tim and I, with our egos absolutely pushed to the forefront, we have a band called Tim and Liam. So if you search on Spotify or Apple Music or anything, you can find Tim and Liam.
Okay.
We put out a full-length record in last year, 2025. We put out a full-length record. And then also, if you go on our music profile, you can find a bunch of records from the last 20 years. So you will find a record as early as, I think, 2003, which I wrote and recorded and played on with different musicians. And it was actually that band was the reason I met Tim, was that his band and my band were playing the same show. And him and I met, we just started chatting, and I was like, literally, it was like from that movie Step Brothers. We're like, did we just become best friends? Yup. You want to do karate in the garage? Yup. Like that was Tim and I, like from the jump. Like I remember meeting him there. My band went on tour. His band did like a short stint, a totally different one. We came back from that tour, started working at the same job, and his roommate dipped on him. And he was like, hey, I just need a roommate for like 6 months to finish out the lease. Is anybody interested? And I immediately was like, yeah, dude, I'll do it. And so I moved in like that weekend, and we lived together for 6 months. And at the end of the lease, I remember sitting in our living room, and he comes out and he was like, hey man, we've had some really good times here. And I was like, yeah, dude, it's been the best. And he was like, yeah, I mean, it's a shame if we couldn't, keep going. And I was like, what do you mean?
You're having a breakup?
He was like, it'd be a shame if we couldn't keep going. I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, the lease is going to be done and we'd have to sign a new one. I was like, yeah, of course, obviously. And he goes, oh, you want to keep living together? I was like, yeah, man, of course. And he was like, God, dude, I was like peeing my pants over there. Worried you didn't want to keep being a roommate.
Couple ever.
Yeah. So my family refers to him.
Do you like me? Do you want to live with me?
Do you want to circle yes or no? No,
yes or no.
He legit. My family refers to him as my other wife. They have
fair
for years. So yeah, no, Tim's the man. Tim's the best.
That's amazing. I love that so much. But it's so special to have a friend like that you've had literally your whole life. Has been through so much with you. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. It's rare, and it's so nice that it's somebody that like I could live with, work with, be in a band with, write music together. And like we can count on 2 fingers the number of fights that we've had. And both of them were because other people didn't want to have the discussion. So we had to take opposing sides of a discussion to just let them air out whatever the problem was. So Tim and I weren't even in the fight. We were trying to get the other people to talk. So it's like, having that type of a person in your life is just, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's insane. I love that. Well, okay, so you have a crazy past before you did books, you did music, you've done all these things. So do you miss doing music? Do books fill your artistic cup enough?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, luckily I still get to do music from like a writing and production standpoint. So I don't miss the live performances. So when you're touring and you're living in a van for 6 to 9 months out of the year, like it really wears on you. Like I have pretty gnarly back issues because of sleeping on like a bench seat in a van. So yeah, I don't miss that aspect of it. I mean, there's you might get a random bug where you're like, oh, maybe I'll go out and do like an acoustic something at like a
open mic.
Yeah, open mic night or something like that. But really, I think it's hard when my voice is my moneymaker in this setting.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take the chance that like I could go out and get sick and then it sets my my schedule back, or I could go out and blow my voice out because maybe the sound system's not great and I couldn't really hear myself. So I'd rather just do the vocalizing here in the privacy of my home, and honestly that way too, when I release the music, just like with the audiobooks, thousands of people get to still listen. So it still scratches the itch. It's nice.
Yeah, definitely. So you said you were a big reader. You loved books. You've always loved books. So like what was your genre of choice before you started in the crazy world of romance?
Yeah. So I'm a huge Star Wars and comic book nerd. So growing up, that was kind of my jam. So, and especially I grew up in a time between when the original movies came out and before the prequel movies had come out in the late 90s.
Yes.
So really that late 80s to like early 90s, there really wasn't a lot of Star Wars stuff. So you might get some comic books here or there, like Marvel was doing Star Wars comics. And then you had a bunch of like, was it Bantam that was doing a lot of the Star Wars books at the time?
It was,
Yeah, so you could get some of those, like if it was Michael A. Stackpool or Aaron Alston, like there were a bunch of really good authors that were writing books at that time. But my mother had an agreement with me that every time I picked a book that I wanted to read, she would pick my next book. Aww. So I could do, like Rogue Squadron, and then I'd have to read Great Expectations, and then I could do, The Courtship of Princess Leia, but then I would have to read like The Hound of the Baskervilles, or like The Scarlet Letter, because she was a big Sherlock Holmes fan. So awesome. I grew up with, like whether it was Basil Rathbone or like in the later years when it was, what was his name? Jeremy, I can't think of the last name, but like, we grew up watching the shows, watching the movies, and then obviously reading a lot of the books. So I was kind of fortunate in that, as I had a mother that really pushed me to sort of diversify my literature intake. Once I got to, 8th grade, I had an English teacher that we had to write a book report on. It wasn't Great Gatsby's. It was Catcher in the Rye. And I had already read that because of my mom. And so I had asked him if there was a different book. Because I was like, I don't want to reread it and write a report on it because it's not going to be my first reaction.
True.
Like I want it to be authentic. And he was like, no, absolutely, I got you. He was like, here, read this. And he handed me Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. And it blew my mind and changed my world.
That's a little different from Catcher in the Rye.
Huge. But I think he could kind of see that I was a voracious reader.
Something more challenging. Yeah.
I was a very voracious reader. So he really recognized that. So like my mother kind of started me on that path, and then he really like catapulted me into the stratosphere. So to this day, Ray Bradbury is still my favorite author. And just a couple months ago, my kids were asking me to read them a bedtime story. So I picked The Halloween Tree, and I read that to them. So every night we would do like two chapters.
That's awesome.
And I saved the 19th chapter for the last night. So it was one chapter to like cap off the read. And they're laying in their bed, right? My son is 11 and my daughter is 6.
So they're an 11-year-old.
Nice. So
cool.
It's that peak age, like just before they turn into a pain in your butt. So they're laying in their bed, and I'm sitting at the end of it, and I'm reading the last chapter. And as I'm going through, because I do the character voices just like I do with the audiobooks, they're laying down, and as the twist is happening, sort of at the end when the excitement is happening, they both popped up off their pillows and crowded me at the end of the bed, like no joke, on pins and needles, wanting to hear how the story ended. So I was
just
like,
you did for them. That's so cool.
I got them. I was like, they will be Ray Bradbury fans for the rest of their lives. So yeah, it's very exciting.
It feels so good when you like rope your kids into like liking what you like. It's like the ultimate victory.
For sure. It's a feather in the cap. And if it gets them excited to read, like even this morning, my son was laying on the couch reading Holes, so like little things like that where just like it keeps them invested in what they're what they're doing. It helps their education. It keeps them engaged, and it keeps the imagination alive.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
That's a huge accomplishment. I mean, it doesn't hurt that you're like acting it out and, you know, really giving it to them. That doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah, they get the full book treatment.
They get the full experience. Yeah, exactly.
I'm saving up to do like Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Like, you know, do what was it? The Magical Nephew. There's the first book that's sort of the prequel to it, and then Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and kind of keep going on that. So I'm excited to do that one. My wife wants to do Lord of the Rings, but I was like, I think we wait a little bit longer on that one. Just because it's such a meal
so long,
to really
such
get
a slog.
through that one. So that one takes a little bit longer. And Tolkien was really, because he was a horticulturist, so like he really will spend pages on like a blade of grass.
Oh, 100%.
So, you know what I mean? Like you really got to like make sure you can still keep this engaging.
Right.
And
so something you want to do before bed.
No. But like our daughter's name is Eowyn, so like it's kind of like you have to do that. You have to read that book. So well, we'll get there. We'll probably do the movies first so they can enjoy those, and then we'll do the book.
That's so cool. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about audiobooks. So what are some of the things that make you really want to do a book? Like, how much are you able to really get into it before you decide whether or not you're going to take on a project?
So it's interesting. Most projects I'm excited about just because they want me. You know, like it's enough. It's enough for me with the cacophony of available audiobook narrators out there. The fact that they will approach me, you know, even to audition for something is huge. It's very kind of self-fulfilling in that regard. Like it solves that imposter syndrome.
It's an honor just to be nominated.
For sure. No. And
Exactly.
it's funny to think of it that way, but it's 100% true.
Yeah.
I usually just like that somebody has written a story that they're prepared from a courageous perspective to be like, I want to put this. Oh, The Magician's Nephew. Thank you. I would have friggin' blew my mind trying to think of that. Yes, absolutely clutch. I think it's very soul bearing for an author to go, I'm going to write this book and put it out there. And then 100%. even beyond that, go, I'm going to entrust these narrators with these characters I know and love and have lived with for months. And like, I'm probably only going to live with that character for a week, you know, like in the time, like, you know, from the time I'm doing my prep, my character creation, my vocal characteristic creations, and then actually recording. And then, you know, I get lucky, like with Only James, where I've gotten the ability to live in a world with multiple books for multiple years at this point. Right. I mean, this dates all the way back to 2020. She was one of the first authors to reach out. Like, she reached out to me on ACX and said, hey, I like your voice. I think you do really well with this book. Would you be willing to look into it? And I immediately said yes. I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then when I got to do the first book with her, I was like, man, I really wish there was more. Like when I did the very first one, I was like, man, I really wish there was more. And then she did, there was a 4-book series that was Elite Protective Services, which was sort of a prequel to Necessary Evils. Mm-hmm. And like, I got to live in that world for 4 books. And then she expanded the world with the books beyond that and doing the 7 books plus the spin-offs. I mean, this has just been, you know, like the ride of a lifetime that I guarantee you a lot of narrators don't get this same amount of time to exist in any one particular world. And the fact that I get to solo narrate it, I get to craft it. So I really enjoy that. I like books that that you can really feel the author has like poured a part of their soul into it to really put themselves, like, you know, blood to page. So I appreciate those. From a purely selfish standpoint, I like books that are dark. Mm-hmm. I like a little bit of sinister to the book. Necessary Evils obviously scratches that itch for me. I got to do like an ensemble series where it was it 4 or 5 books that I got to do, and it was like me and Joe Arden,
Which one?
It was KG Rouse's series.
Kings of Bolton? You mean
yeah,
like my favorite series that
Perfect.
you've ever done?
Yes. Okay, perfect. So and what was really interesting about that one, I got cast as Drake. Right. So that was what it was. It was supposed to be like that was the only role. And then they were like, oh, we're actually going to have you do all these tertiary characters. So then I'm Joe Arden's Italian dad. I'm another guy's German dad. I'm another guy's Russian dad.
Yeah.
And then I got to be the villain as well. So it's like, I got to be all of these different characters when initially it was just like, oh, we're going to have you be this guy. And then I was like, everybody. It was like, if it wasn't the main, 4 dudes and the main female, pretty much every other male voice you hear is me. Drake and his name started with a T.
Oh. I know what you're talking about.
Tate. I was Tate. The guy that captures her and keeps her in the basement. Yeah. So I didn't know.
Sorry, guys. Spoiler alert.
Right. Sorry. Yes. Yeah. Huge spoilers.
That was bad. I'm so sorry.
I didn't know when I was first cast because we only see book 1. When you're cast, you only see book 1. So I saw that Drake only had like 2 POV chapters. Very small. Very, very small role. Or like I don't even think he has a POV chapter till like book 3. So I'm like, okay,
He's barely in the first 2.
Yeah. And he's just sort of there. Like, he's not even really like a prominent character. He just sort of like shows up in the lunchroom. So I'm like, okay, I'm not anything big. It's fine. It's a privilege just to be in the book, right?
Right.
And then I'm also Tate. And I'm like, I'm going to make this guy creepy because it says he's kind of a dick. So like, I'm going to make him creepy. So I choose this kind of like raspy, like really bad voice.
And then you end up having to...
And then I have POV chapters later in the series that I have to maintain that Tate voice. And oh my God, can I tell you like how taxing that was on my vocal cords, but so fulfilling to just be the creepiest of creepsters. I loved it.
Seriously. And then not only be the creepiest of creepsters, but then get to turn around and not be a creepy, which is like I get to be the ultimate arc.
Yeah, well, I get to be Drake, who then, as the series progresses, spoiler alert, becomes more prominent, more prevalent, and almost like instrumental in the way the series ends. Like he is a main player towards the end.
Huge.
Yeah, so I was really, really fortunate with that series. Like 1, to even be selected, and then 2, for it to develop naturally, that I got to just sort of flex my vocal muscles. Like I talked about in a TikTok that I did a while back, where one chapter I'm doing Russian, German, and Italian accents and speaking lines, like actual German lines in a chapter. Yeah. And I had actually, my freshman year at university, I had gone to a music conservatory and I had to do my auditions in German and Italian. So I got to use a skill that I had back when I was 18 and reapply it now in my 40s to still be able to, bring characters to life. So it's like, dude, you never know. Thank you. I loved doing that series, and it's so nice to take a skill and never know when it can come into play.
I'm so glad you love that series because I freaking love that series. So like that's on my list of things to be like, I love this series. I don't know if you liked it, but I freaking love that series.
That was huge. Yeah.
Yeah. That made me a huge fan of Blair too. And series.
Oh,
she's amazing.
Yeah.
And I had her on. She was like one of the first people I talked to. And I mean, we nerded out about that series big time because she's so good in those books. Like she's so good.
She kills it to the point where it's like, I feel like Tim has said something similar to this, where it's like we are blessed with such fantastic female narrators that it forces you to constantly push the envelope to try to meet the level that they are on. Like I have been in, like, it's an embarrassment of riches where it's like every time I get to do a male female or an ensemble and I get to hear even a snippet of the female's performance, I just go, man, like I try to bring an A game every single time, but I just listen to them and go, how do I push myself a level higher?
I mean, just the shit that Bianca goes through in that series is just, I mean, like, and for her to go through all of that,
Yes.
I mean, it's such a crazy up and down roller coaster over all these books, and I gave her like all the props for that series. I loved it.
Oh, absolutely. And every book is a cliffhanger ending. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like every single one of them, you're just like, bet you thought this was it. Nope. Mm-hmm. Like it's so clutch. So I know. Gab said, I'm not over 40. I appreciate that.
We're both vampires.
Yes, it's I like to. My wife bought me a skincare routine so that way I could try to keep myself looking youthful. My wife's Hispanic, and so my kids get like that nice summer glow, and I have enough Italian in me that I don't burn unless like I'm out for a really long time and I haven't applied sunscreen. But I think living in California now for 15 years, I keep a pretty nice base coat all year long because I coach my son's soccer team, so I'm outside quite a bit. So it's
those
nice.
Hispanic genes don't hurt at all. Trust me, I got those too.
My kids, oh my god, I'm so jealous of like the bronze that they get. It's so I will never see that. I get olive at best.
No, fair. I get it. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad. I'm just so glad that you love that series. That makes me so happy because it's like my favorite. I love it. Well, and obviously, Gallows Hill is huge too. I love Gallows Hill.
Oh, Gallows Hills was great. Yeah.
And I met Caitlin at a bookstore a couple of months ago and got to meet her and gab with her about that series, and it was so cool. She's such an amazing author. So
I wish I could remember the author's name. I did this. It was a 2-book series. And I did it way back in like 2021, maybe 2022. I remember the first book was called The Enlightened. And it's me and Virginia Rose. Oh. And it is literally, it's like an episode of Gossip Girl. Like that's the book. Like it's so good. It's so very much where you just like, you kind of hate watch both characters where you're like, is there a way that both of you can lose because they're just bad people kind of, I mean, the guy is way worse than the girl, but I remember doing that book and just being like, holy shit. Like I didn't know these were options. Like this is so cool. So it's really nice. Like anytime I get, Chantal Tessier's The Sacrifice. When they booked me for that, I literally had chills.
Insane.
I was like, I was just, even now, I still don't believe I did that book. Like, it's so nuts. I've been really, really lucky with so many of the projects I've been on.
Have you recorded the final book for Kings of Bolton?
Yes. All 5 are done. I feel like it is where they're sort of like piecemealing them out, like they're sort of like
the first 4 are out, but the 5th one's not out yet.
The fifth one's definitely done. I think we finished recording that a couple months ago now, or it might have been actually end of last year. But but you got to figure the amount of work that goes into ensembles. Crazy,
insane amount of editing, and it's crazy. Insane.
Amber's dipping out. She loves your nails.
Yeah, Amber's dipping. She likes her nails.
I do as well. Purple and pink for me are just those are bangerang colors.
So I'm going to Rebels and Realms next weekend, and this is the colors of the event. So I did that for that. Yeah.
I need
I'm just a girl. I got a match.
Oh no, I love it. My wife, every time she goes and gets her nails done, as soon as she walks in, I go, "Let me see," and so she's always like, "Pow." No. I get randomly asked if I'm going to go to like this convention or that convention. And I am so bad about scheduling out the time to do these things. And I never know when they are. So by the time somebody's like, "Oh, are you going to this?" I'm like, I'm already booked to do a book.
That's the one good thing about social media is that you do kind of get the early buzz on those kind of things.
So I do need to be better about that. I actually forgot to book a vacation this year. So I had booked up till June and then realized I hadn't scheduled any time off. So my first vacation is October. So yeah, it is.
Wow.
It has been a crazy year for me.
I'll tell you what, Liam. I will every time I see a book, a con that I think you should go to. I'll send it to your DMs.
Yes,
and
yes.
in a couple of months you'll see it.
yes. No, honestly, like that's my biggest ask for like any listener, like anybody that supports my work. Send me conventions that you feel are like specifically noteworthy, because I was having this conversation with a fellow narrator about a lot of the cons are very geared towards the authors, and it kind of sometimes feels where like the narrators are kind of an afterthought as opposed to like a feature. Yeah. So we would like to see a little bit more.
I got you. I know some for you.
Yeah. So something like that. And keep in mind, I am West Coast based, so
a good one that would have been great for you, and I'm sure they'll do it again next year. Spicy Reads had a ton of narrators.
I would love to do Spicy Reads. Love in Vegas, I always hear really good things about. I'd like to do that one eventually. I know there's a couple in like SoCal, because I'm Central California. I know there's some in SoCal. It's just a matter of like finding when they are, where they are, and then making sure I block out time on the schedule to be able to go. That's the biggest part. Gabs is hosting one.
Gabs is, and I am. So Gabs and I are really good friends. So Gabs and I pretty much go to everything in Texas together. We go to all of them in Texas together. But she's going to put together an awesome con. You just wait. I'm so excited.
I'm definitely down. Texas for us, like Fresno to Texas is like a 2-hour flight. So like if we're hitting Dallas, it's pretty much a direct flight. Like we can go Dallas right in.
Okay, I'm gonna send you. I know I got 3 chances. I got 3 for you next year.
Nice. Yeah, definitely hit me up.
One. You can take your pick.
Take my pick. Nice. Yeah, and rank them. Be like, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3.
No, I got
so I kind of feel like, this one's the more priority, or the one that kind of feels more narrator.
There's a couple that are like more dark romance kind of related. Yeah. There's some that have there's one that we really love that we went to this year. It's called Kink and Ink. So there's a tattoo focus as well.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
Send me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah, it's a great one. Yeah.
UK Calamity just put, if you've got UK cons as well, send those over. The wife and kids and I'm a big West Ham United fan for soccer. Yes. So my wife keeps telling me that she wants to take me over so I could catch a game in person. And I want to take the kids because like I said, my son, he's been playing soccer since he was 4. My daughter played soccer for the first time last year. This year she wants to focus just on dance. So she's not doing soccer this fall. She's just going to do dance. Totally fine. That's okay with me. Totally fine. She's a bit more violent than he is, so it's a little bit better that she sticks to something that's like non-contact.
Yeah, less contact sports.
The last game of her season last year, because I had to coach, her original coach divided the team into 2 because there were too many girls. And then he was just like, you got that team, right? You can take care of that one. And I was like, I'm already coaching my son's team. And he was like, perfect. So you know how to coach. Go ahead. So I had to take on both kids' teams. And the last game of the season, there's this girl easily like twice my daughter's size. So my daughter is petite. She's small for her age. Twice the size. And that girl said something like, we're going to beat you. And my daughter turned around, chest out, and goes, nuh-uh, you're never going to win. You're never going to get past me. You're never going to win. We're going to win. We're always going to be the one that wins. Like just 6-year-old going off on this girl. And I'm cracking up at the sideline. The parents are cracking up. And I was like, Winnie, calm down. It's fun, babe. Just play the game. It's all for fun. Like she has attitude for days.
No, I get it.
It's that Latina. Yeah. It's that Latina in her. She was like, nuh-uh.
We can't help it. Can't help it.
Couldn't.
Oh my gosh.
She can't play rugby. Calamity put in there. She can't. I played when I was like in middle school, like coming out of primary, going into secondary school, and another kid and I collided. His teeth went through his bottom lip and through my eyebrow, and just blood gushing all over my face. So, rugby, a little bit too much contact for me. So, my kids will stick with football or soccer, depending on the part of the world that you're in.
I think that's fair.
Oh yes, yeah, Jen. No Spurs. The Spuds can absolutely go and do one. Um, I'm still confused why West Ham does business with Spurs. Like we sold them Kudus and we just sold them Mateus Fernandez. Like make it make sense. Why are you selling your best players to another London rival? It will always baffle me. So, but yeah, if you could see,
Got to get
right
you
up
over
here,
there.
there's a little sticker on my booth window that says West Ham
I see
United
it.
right there. So yeah,
That's so
big
cool.
West Ham fan. So
That's awesome.
I've got scarves. I've got tickets from past matches over there. So
Oh man,
yeah.
that's so cool. Oh yeah, Calamity. Her dad played rugby, and he's a bodybuilder. Her dad has had like crazy life. It's crazy.
No, and when you're big, like for me, I was always on the smaller side, and like even now, I'm like 185 pounds and 5'10". Like I don't cut a massive figure like at all. I'm not intimidating. Like that's probably why I'm so heavily tattooed because I had to have something in my
Gotta
favor.
have something, yeah.
That and the beard. I feel like the beard and the tattoos kind of give me like a little bit of a leg up. But I mean, my wife's scarier than I am. I mean, she's 5'5" Latina, but
That's
people
fair.
would definitely shy away from her before they'll shy away from me. So.
I mean,
Oh, Calamity, you're a Leicester fan. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I know these last 2 seasons have been rough for you guys. You'll bounce right back up. As soon as the ownership turns things around, they start investing into the club, you guys will come right back up. I love Leicester. That's like an absolute second team for me. Like when we finished, what was like 5th and 6th a couple seasons ago under David, we had David Moyes and Declan Rice was still there. Like I literally thought it was going to be Leicester and West Ham taking over those top spots forever. So I love you. I love you, girl. Bring those Foxes back up. We need them.
you're gonna have a fan in B now.
That's all right. That's all right. I'll take it.
Well, is there anything that you haven't gotten to do a lot of that you would like to do more of, like as far as genres or parts or tropes or things that you really like that you haven't gotten to do a lot of?
It's so tough. I did some.
You've done a lot.
I've done a lot of books. I did some like sci-fi romance stuff, like early days. I think it was Grace Goodwill. She had a bunch of series where it's like aliens coming to Earth and taking like human brides. It was a really cool series.
Yeah.
Like just monster, members and whatnot. So I got to do some cool stuff.
I mean, we love a good monster romance.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't yuck yums around here, Liam.
No, of course not. I got to do a bunch of books by Faye Quinn. And she does a lot of like monster human romance stuff. I did one that was like a gelatinous space shark.
Nice.
It was amazing. It legitimately. So Faye Quinn, definitely check out her work. I've done a lot of hers.
The Eva Chase was monsters.
Yes, those were monsters as well. I would say I've been really fortunate. I've gotten to do rock star romances. I've done murder mysteries. I've done thrillers. I've done psychopaths falling in love. Like, I've really kind of gotten to scratch all of my itches.
Done a lot of MM romance.
And I love doing the male romance stuff because one, I don't have to like fake a female voice, and my imposter syndrome gets racketed up to 1,000 when I have to do a female voice. When you have to do
femme voice, yeah.
You don't want to come off as patronizing. I think that's the biggest thing. Like I'm not going to go in there being like Team Girl Squad. You know what I mean? Like I'm not that, but I also feel like it's easier to do male romance for me. Like I find it easier. No,
absolutely.
If it's a duet, bring the women, bring the ladies, let them come in and rock that part. But I would say the one itch I would love to scratch would be superheroes. So like being a big like Marvel fan and growing up with superheroes. My son's name is Remy, so he's named after Gambit. I love that. I would love to do more superhero stuff. I got to do a book called Dirty Pictures, which told kind of like the chronological history of underground comics from like the 50s and 60s, like all the way up through contemporary with like Matt Groening with The Simpsons and whatnot.
That's cool.
So I got to do that. So it's a nonfiction book, but Dirty Pictures. It's a long listen. It's like 15 plus hours. Like it's long, and it's solo.
I've listened to 4 Kings of Bolton books. They're like 10 hours a piece. Yeah,
you're good. Then this is cakewalk. This is a Saturday. This is a Saturday morning.
Exactly.
I got to do that one, and I got to do another book called See You in San Diego, which was a bunch of interviews with different people who were instrumental with the founding and the acceleration of the San Diego Comic-Con. And
cool.
Yeah, so it has interviews with like Kevin Smith and Kevin Eastman, who I got to do his interviews. So I got to be Kevin,
so
one of the
cool.
one of the creators of Ninja Turtles. So that was huge for me. So that was another really fun one. But that's the closest I've been to doing like a comic book or like superhero style audiobook. So that would be probably bucket list if I could do something that was either specifically from Marvel or just even like a romance that is more superhero based. And the other big one would be I've done baseball, hockey, football. I don't think I've ever done rugby, but I've never done a soccer romance. And I want to do, I may have to write it myself, but I want to do like male soccer romance where it's
Liam.
the whole team is banging each other. That's essentially what I want.
Yes. Yeah. Why not?
And you even have the retiring player. Like imagine Ted Lasso, but Roy Kent is retiring, and now Ted finally sees he has the chance to get with Roy Kent, but he couldn't because it was a imbalance
Are we writing
of power.
fanfic right now, Liam?
You have to. You know what I mean? Like Jamie Tart goes to a different team, and Coach Beard is heartbroken because Jamie Tart left, Richmond. Like I'm telling you, the book is there. It writes itself.
Yeah. It writes itself.
Yeah.
I freaking love your brain.
I've been in the thick of it for so long that it's just like, can we do this? Can we have this happen?
I miss it. I need it.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So a little bit of a serious question that I like to ask all of my narrators that I talk to is, obviously, we all love romance. We all love the genre very, very much. But I do think it's also important culturally and things like that for romance to exist. Yeah. How do you feel about the genre as far as, do you feel like it's important culturally and things like that?
Oh, 100%. I think that one of the oldest but most important emotions that we can feel is love. And however that is represented legally should be brought to the page, because you have to imagine that what Fahrenheit 451 was for me as a kid, showing me, science fiction beyond the realm of just Star Wars and just understanding, anarchism and, government overreach and, how best to kind of combat that from a personal level. That spoke volumes to me. So imagine that kid, like in rural Mississippi, who cannot come out of the closet, that does not feel like there is anybody out there that is going through what they go through. And then they get a book in their hands that shows them that love is love, that there is an entire world out there beyond the 4 walls that they are in. And there are people just waiting to accept them for who they are. That is why this genre, I think some people turn their nose up to it because they're like, oh, romance, or especially for like the dark romance where they're like, oh, erotica. And I'm like, it's not porn, you dipshit. Like this is actual love. This is not faked on camera.
I mean, it's part of it. Hello.
Yeah. But I think it's also, like we said before, we don't yuck someone's yum. Like we don't kink shame, because it's important for people to understand that there are other people out there that will feel and be the way that they are. And that, while we are all, unique individuals, we are human, and humans are tribal by nature. And so it is important for us to find that tribe. Community, and when you can find that, and it's not just local to where you live, that this is global. You can talk to, Calamities in England. So like for her and I to have a connection.
B and I do a podcast together about audio erotica. So trust me,
Ooh, I'll have to listen. You'll have to send me the podcast. But I think it's important because to have these type of connections, to meet somebody this quick and feel like I have a connection to this individual immediately, people crave that. And that's why, for me, what we do is so important when it comes to romance, this genre of literature, and just being able to engage and entice people across the world.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Now, I say it all the time, and, you know, everyone who comes to all my shows gets sick of hearing me say this, but you know, you can think that dark romance is too much, or there's things that are, you know, terrible to read, or, you know, whatever. But my thing I always say is that as bad as you think that is, it's happened to someone.
Yeah.
And someone out there feels represented by what's happening in that book, regardless of whether or not you think it's horrible to have to read. And yeah, it is horrible, but someone went through that. At some point, someone went through that. So
it's,
you know.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because, like, me being a big Marvel fan, I remember taking my son, this was before my daughter was born, but my son, they thought he may have a heart murmur, so we had to take him to an echocardiologist, right? Mm-hmm. And they scanned him. They said, no, it didn't end up being a heart murmur. It was probably just like a blip, whatever, no big deal. Mm-hmm. So we went and saw Black Panther after that. And I had, like, from the time they initially said there may be a heart murmur to when he was finally scanned, it was almost 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks. Ugh. Like, it was pretty lengthy before we could get in. So I'm very much a bottle it up type person. So bottled it up for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then we go and see Black Panther. And at the end, sorry, spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen Black Panther. When Black Panther...
We're spoiling everything up in here.
Right? There's going to be a content warning on this. At the end, when Black Panther, the ship is there, and Shuri is showing the kids there, like, the ship and the tech, and the one kid turns and he looks at him and he goes, "Oh, no, cry right now." He goes, "Who are you?" And you just realize in that moment the importance to have representation, the importance to have a child to be able to look up to somebody. And it broke me. It broke me because I was just like, I want to be that for my son always, the person to look up to. And whether it's my son, somebody else's son or daughter, or somebody else that is an adult that they just need someone to talk to, I always want to be that person. It's like, if you need me, I want to be there for that person. So it was like, little things like that. That's why I will always say the connectivity, the community, the outreach, all of this is incredibly important, especially in a timeline that we're in right now, where marginalized groups are held to the sword day in and day out. We need to make sure that they understand
more than we are even aware.
100%. So I want to make sure that we are loud and vocal and present.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I will say one thing, Liam. I will say that is one thing that I do think you would absolutely love about this social media community is that aspect of it, and the fact that, you know, we do have it's an interesting group, an interesting community. I've made so many friends in this community and, like, so many like-minded individuals. It makes you feel like it doesn't feel like everything's so heavy when you have the people, or, you know, these people in this community. So, but yeah, it's, I think you would enjoy that aspect of it. Absolutely. But it's great. I love this. I love this space. I love this community. I love the people that I've gotten to meet, and it's just a really, really neat thing. Okay. What is your favorite thing in your booth?
Ooh. You know, I'm a huge gear snob. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was always a big deal when a band would show up for, like, a show or whatever, and you're loading up the gear right onto the stage. Mm-hmm. So whether it's amplifiers or guitars or the drum sets or, you know, the microphone. Mm-hmm. And it was always kind of like a feather in the cap that the band, all the members of my band, had really top level equipment. So I always make sure I had a top level microphone, top level mic cord. So it's the same thing now as an audiobook narrator. I had started on a Rode NT1A which is it's a good mic. It's a really good starter. Yeah, it's a great starter mic, especially when you're first starting out. And then I got the Sennheiser MKH416, and I will use that microphone until I die.
Yeah.
It is. I will never need another microphone. It does. It makes my voice sound heavenly. Like if I could have used that on stage, I would have, but a shotgun mic on stage would not have worked. In this setting, phenomenal. So yeah, for me, my favorite thing in my booth is my microphone. Kind of beyond that, I have a really weird, unique setup. This is a Studio Bricks OnePlus, and they do customized booths made in Barcelona, and then they ship them to you. So they're individually made. Yeah. So I had ordered this. I know, very, very fancy. So the money I had made those first couple years as an audiobook narrator while I was still working full time, my wife was like, you can use the money and get yourself an upgrade. Because before I had PVC pipe and moving blankets. So it was very low budget, very low key. Tons of people, That's how you start. And so I got this, and then I have like a stand for my iPad, and then I have another stand for my microphone, and I have two metal trays that hang off of the stands, and it holds a secondary monitor, and like it has an attachment for my headphones, another keyboard, my tea, like it's just really well constructed. Yeah, and it's perfect for you. So so I like the way my booth is set up, but the microphone for me, that's the
you should, because you spend a lot of time in there. You should like it. It should be very comfy and cozy. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. So what would be some advice that you would have for someone who's just starting out? So there's tons of people who are just getting into this and really finding the love for it. So what would you say to help people get started?
Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is a marathon, not a sprint. You know, I spoke about being able to have sort of that meteoric rise because it was just the, confluence of a lot of things happening simultaneously. For sure. But even when, I'm working 50 to 60 hours at my full-time job, and it meant at the end of the night, I put my kids to bed, I kiss my wife goodnight, and then I go and record from 10 o'clock at night till 2 in the morning to then wake up the next day at 5 a.m. to get ready for work at 6. Like, there's going to be, I wouldn't say long nights, it'd be short nights because it's, you're only sleeping for a couple hours. I would say it's important. If it means enough to you, you will put in the work to get to where you want to go. And people will recognize the talent and the hard work that you put in. It just, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. For me, starting in 2020, I wasn't able to go full time until 2023. So it still took 3 years for me to get to the point where I could be full time. And then now it's been another 3 years, and it's so rewarding and it's so worth it. So I would say the hardships you go through initially, it pays off in the end.
Yeah, definitely. Are you a review reader? Do you read reviews, Liam?
I did early in my career, and I knew better not to do that.
And you still did it.
Because, I'll use this as an example. The band that Tim and I were in, we came out with our first full-length record in 2007. And it was called, it was our previous band. Him and I had a pop punk band called Honor Bright. So that was the band him and I did. Tim and Liam, that's the band we do now. Right. So in Honor Bright, we did a record called Build Hearts from Stars. And one reviewer, most reviews were glowing, said they were so good. One reviewer, and I'll never forget the line, the band tries valiantly to make up for the singer's lack of talent.
Oh.
Yep. So that stuck with me. That was 2007, so almost 20 years, 19 years.
Imposter syndrome who?
Yeah, 100%. So that crushed me. And the worst part was, it wasn't even like a main syndication. It wasn't a magazine. It wasn't a professional reviewer.
Some random human.
Some punk-ass kid with a GeoCities website.
And why does that hurt more?
100%.
Why does that hurt more?
100%. And that sat with me. So I read a review, it was early on, where it was like somebody said they didn't like a voice I chose for some character. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was like, it was random. And then 2 comments further down, somebody else put, I love this character's voice, the one that the other person has said they didn't like. So I was like, look, it's taster's choice. Like, some people are going to love what I do, some people are not, and I can't take it personally because it's their preference, right? Like, it'd be like somebody telling me I don't like peanut butter, and I'd be like, are you like
and
brain dead? How?
Yeah, and in that situation, you made the author happy, and that's who you're really trying 100%. To impress. At the end of the day, so
it was one of those where, like, my wife looked at me and I was like, "Man, that sucks," and she just goes, "Yeah, but did you get paid to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "So why do you care what they say?" And I was like,
ma'am.
Ooh, it's the Latina, right? Like, she just knows. She just knows.
She got you.
It was funny. I was on the phone with another narrator, and I randomly searched my name because I was going to pull up how many audiobooks I had done, because it'll Audible will say, total
Audible
audiobooks.
Says you're at 3. I don't know if this is true or not, but Audible says you're at 369.
No, 69? Really? How apropos.
Right? How apropos. I don't know if there's you know how it is. They always add things in there that aren't really you.
And some most of it will be, but sometimes it's books that aren't released yet. So it'll say the book, but it's like a pre-release on the book.
Pre-release, pre-order. Yeah. You have quite a few pre-orders on there.
100%. So I think that's like the kind of flip side of it. But I had searched, and like there was a Reddit thread that my name had popped up in, and somebody was like,
"Oh no."
They had said something about like, my voice isn't always what they're looking for, but then they said, "But good God, can that man do a sex scene?" And I was like, I'll take it.
I'm good. We're good.
I go, that's it. Good. You know what? I know you're listening to the book because you want the sex. If that's where I shine, sign me up. Cool, I'll take it. 100%.
Okay, so B had the best question ever.
Yes.
She says, "Are you and Tim more Tenacious D or Flight of the Conchords?"
Tenacious D for sure, except without the fallout between Jack Black and and Kyle. Yeah. Tim and I would never and will never have a fallout. It's impossible.
You're in it for life.
For life. But yeah, we are very much so. Tim and I, before we started writing music together, would sit in the car listening to songs and making up our own perverted lyrics to it.
Oh my God.
That's how we knew we were full in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. Like right now, as I'm recording this, Tim and I are in the process of working on a covers EP where we have like 5 songs from like the 80s and 90s that we're going to cover. And when I say you're not ready for it, you're not ready for it. It is so good.
I need you to send me. Oh no.
Knocked down.
I'm going to need to know when all of this stuff is available, because that's insane.
Yes, if you follow my social medias at all, Tim and I will post exhaustively about when that EP comes out. So, yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Liam, I can't believe this. We've been yapping for an hour already.
Over an hour. You're good.
Insane. But I know you need to go. But can we do a quick speed round real quick before you go?
No, as long as you need to go, let's go.
Okay. You ready? Okay. These are just fun questions. Nothing crazy. Okay. Coffee or tea?
Tea. All day, every day.
Hot or iced?
Hot. Always hot tea. Iced tea will actually constrict your vocal cords, and it will tire your voice out faster. So hot tea, but not boiling lava hot, because you can actually do damage to your throat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that could be bad. Favorite color?
Oh, green. Absolutely.
I knew you were going to say. Why did I know you were going to say that?
I'm an Irishman. Gotta be.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. Favorite snack or candy?
Ooh, that's a good one. So if it's candy, it's a Butterfinger. Like, Butterfinger, and it's so underrated. So
underrated. I mean, Bart knew.
Yes, and my son is obsessed with The Simpsons right now, so like he's obsessed with Butterfingers because he's been watching the commercials and whatnot. Him and I do Fortnite, and at the end of last year they did a Simpsons season in Fortnite.
Yes,
so he played that, and then he got super into watching The Simpsons on Disney Plus. So
I love that.
So that's a big one. A snack though, man, you really can't go wrong with like a PB&J. Like,
it's a classic.
It's classic.
It's a classic.
Although more recently I've been doing peanut butter and honey sandwiches.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, Toast the
Who do you
bread.
think you are?
Yeah, toast the bread for like 30 seconds. And then peanut butter on one side, honey on the other side. Oof. Heavenly. Yeah.
Crazy. Insane. All right. Do you have a favorite movie, Liam?
Star Wars. If I had to pick, if I had to pick one of them, I mean, Empire Strikes Back is like it's the best. It's the best movie, and my wife and I have a signed Empire Strikes Back poster by it's George Lucas, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Jeremy Bulloch. There's 19 signatures on it. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So Empire Strikes Back is the go-to. When I was a kid, I would have told you Return of the Jedi because Luke has a green lightsaber in it.
Right.
That's it. Easy reason.
And you like green.
100%.
Yeah, I get it. Like when you're a kid, it's just so easy.
So easy. Simple things like that. Oh, yeah.
Okay, Liam, do you have a favorite dad joke?
Yes. A priest and a rabbi and a leprechaun walk into the bar.
I'm not sure this is a dad joke, Liam.
No, 100%. Just read it. So a priest, a rabbi, and a leprechaun walk into the bar. The leprechaun looks at the priest and the rabbi and he goes, I think I'm in the wrong joke.
It is a dad joke.
Yep. Told you.
You didn't disappoint.
Well, I'll never disappoint when it comes to dad jokes. Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Well, I think this is kind of a silly question now, but do you have a go-to karaoke song?
Ooh. So for me, it's Don't Stop Me Now by Queen.
Queen?
And then if it's not that, it's Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're best friends, Liam.
I'm telling you.
We're
There's something about Whitney that just is irreplaceable. Infectious, irreplaceable. Absolutely.
Okay. What is a song that you currently can't get out of your head?
So the other day I was on Reddit and there was a post that was like top 10 songs of like 1991. Ooh. And one of the songs was Walking in Memphis, which I don't like the song.
Random.
But it's just been in my head since yesterday. So that's that's one. My walking around music though, the song that is in my head whenever I'm walking just randomly is Ghost Town by the Specials.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my walking music. So like when you have your internal music and everybody has it, you all have your internal song.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mine is Ghost Town by the Specials.
That's super cool. Okay, if there's one book you could go back and read for the first time, what would it be?
Fahrenheit 451. Yeah, I had my wife read it, so I still have my copy that teacher gave me in 8th grade. I never returned it to the library. So it still has the date stamp on it when I took it out. And I still have that copy, and the pages are falling out. They're all torn and whatnot. But
do you owe late fees on that? I'm just kidding.
I'm sure.
You know the episode of Seinfeld where the book is like been out for like 20 years?
Yep. And I would gladly pay it because that book was worth every penny, every late fee. But my wife just read it, and same thing. She was like, you weren't kidding. That book is a life changer. And I go, I told you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. 100%. Okay. Very important, Liam. What is your weapon of choice in a zombie apocalypse?
Ooh, weapon of choice. So I have in my nightstand a shillelagh. And if you don't know what a shillelagh is, it is a length of wood where a thick branch meets the tree, and they cut the tree off above and below where that branch meets. And then it is shined and polished with lacquer. And so it is a walking stick that is basically just a small club.
An ass-beaten stick.
It's an ass-beaten stick. So if there's ever anybody that breaks into my house, I will be defending myself and my family with a shillelagh.
A shillelagh. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, fair. That's
and
great.
B, yes, I love the madness as well. Like UK punk and ska for me was some of the most influential music in my life. Like the Clash. I mean, I like the Sex Pistols. I like them more now than I did as a kid. I didn't like them as much as a kid. The Clash was definitely a bigger one for me. Madness was huge. Specials were huge. The Damned was huge. The Stranglers were huge. I mean, yeah. I am a Anglophile, which is making my grandfather roll in his grave because he was an Irish immigrant. When it comes to like Brit music, for sure.
Yeah.
And my wife's a huge The 1975 fan, so it runs in the house. There you go.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool.
Ooh,
okay, I'm really sad. This is my last question, Liam.
Okay.
I'm kind of sad about it.
It's all right.
Okay.
We'll go again.
What is your nemesis word or phrase in the booth?
Maddeningly. Maddeningly. That's a for good me. One. I hate it. I'm better about it now because I've had to practice it so much. I also don't like shoulders shrug because there's just it makes you sound like you're like
repetitive.
I sound like Sean Connery. Like, oh, you're gonna shoulder shrug your way through this book, Liam? Nice try. Nobody's going to listen to this garbage. Why don't you go and choose a new profession? Like that. That's me. Which is also Scottish accents. I have to pick like Glasgow because I cannot do like an Edinburgh accent. Yeah. Because then I'll fall back into this. And it's just, like I said, I don't want to patronize.
Making your throat hurt. Yeah.
It's awful. It's awful. Although I love going to my Wolverine voice, which is this one. You almost hear this voice in almost every book that I do. This is such an easy voice to fall into, but it wreaks havoc on the throat.
Yeah, that hurts.
But
that hurts
you know what, though? I love it, though. Like, that voice for me.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
That's the gruff motorcycle fighter guy. I love putting that one in a book. He hits most of my books.
Yeah. It sounds great, but I'm sure it hurts.
Prolonged, like if I have to do POVs with that one, if it's like one chapter, maybe two, I could probably sustain it depending on how many pages or how many words it is. But I wouldn't be able to do that for like main character.
No. Now, can you imagine if you started Drake in that voice?
No. I like, even right now, here, I'll show this. This is my notebook that I keep on my desk. So this is all the chapters and how many pages they are. And then right up there at the top, when I have multiple point of views, which I'm working on a book right now, that I am 4 different POVs in the book. And so I have to have a different voice. Sounds like my kind of book. Right? So I have a different voice for each of the 4 characters. So I will mark down how many chapters that character has and then how many total pages they have. So then I know to pick, like, this guy has 4 chapters, but it's 23 pages. So I'll use my normal narration voice. This other guy also has 4 chapters, but it's only 18 pages. So I can pick a voice that's slightly off from my normal voice. But then, like, this other guy only has 1 chapter. So I'm like, cool, I can kind of swing for the fences with that one. You can fuck it up
with that, yeah.
Yeah, do something a little different. It's 1 chapter and it's 2 pages. Like, that's fine. And then in the epilogue, they introduce 5 British characters that are going to show up in book 2. So I have to make sure that each of those characters are somebody that I can sustain. Because I don't think I can announce this book yet. So I'm only giving you like context clues, and it'd be interesting to see if anybody figures out which one I'm doing. So.
Oh, I'm excited, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't care. It's fun.
Okay, Liam. Well, I've asked you all my questions. You answered a bunch of them without me even asking because
that's what I'm here for.
We're yapping like crazy. And you have been so awesome. And I'm a huge fan, and I appreciate you so much coming on and hanging out and chatting with me.
No, Kim, I'm a huge fan of you. So I love this. This was so much fun. Thank you. Thank you for letting me come on here and do this. This was a lot of fun.
I'm going to send you Kink and Ink information.
Yes.
And
your podcast.
I need to know when band music comes out.
Yes. So you can listen to the full length. It's called Everything That Came After, and that's on the Tim and Liam, all of the music streaming services. So it's all. Great name. Thank you. Yeah, Everything That Came After. It's a nice little cartoonish cover, very comic booky. So I will do that, and I will absolutely be hitting up my social media once the cover EP comes out, because I guarantee you will love it. Guarantee.
Put in a good word for me with Bestie and tell him I'm gonna ask him to come on the show too.
Oh, absolutely. I will literally text him right after this, and I'll be like, dude, you gotta do this. You gotta do it.
That's so nice. Thank you. Hey, we got to do this again. If you have a good book come out or something, let me know, and we'll absolutely do this again.
Yeah, honestly, you could probably, if you.
I mean, none of your books are good. When you get a good one, though.
No, when I finally get that good book, no, especially end of this year. End of this year is already busy as heck. So yeah. We'll go again.
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Same.
Thank you so much for chatting.
Thank you,
it was
Kim.
so fun.
Yes,
we're definitely peas in a pod. So
no, we're besties now. We're besties.
Yeah, we're besties.
I'll see you at my birthday party. This will be cool.
Oh, I can't wait. Bye, Liam. Thank you
Bye, Kim.
so much. Thanks everybody for hanging out.
See ya.
Bye.